Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Vinny, aka Venomian. This commentary is a bit long. I didn't really realize it when I started. I didn't think it would be this deep and long, and it's kind of personal. It's some stuff from my past and some experiences I've had. So sit back, relax. I hope you enjoy it. If not, then maybe I'll get you with another commentary. But this one's kind of about me, and I don't know what the gameplay will be because COD isn't long enough. So it'll be something else. I'm not sure yet, but hope you enjoy it. I'm going to be talking about stuff, as I usually do, and not related to the gameplay. Surprise, surprise. Yeah, I'm going to be talking about. I know I do. Like I do that a lot. Well, not that loud, but I do that sometimes. I listen to the back of my commentaries and I'm like, what? That's kind of annoying, but I'll try not to do that as much. So, yeah, so I'm gonna start this commentary off by saying I am bilingual, like I speak, fluent French and fluent English, I'm not trying to show off or anything, I'm just saying, it's a fact, I'm not going, I don't really see it as that much of an advantage. It's cool, I mean, but yeah. Moving on, I want to talk about, how this came to be, talk about my past a bit, so I am, Irish. I guess you could say that, but I never really lived in Ireland. I mean, I think I lived there a few months when I was a baby, but that's about it. And I lived in England until I was 9 years old, um, for a very long time. 9 years, and I had an English accent. There's like some really old home videos of me, and it's really really just crazy. I have such an English accent. And then by the time I was 9, around that time, we were gonna move to France, the south of France, and it was kind of I wasn't feeling too good about it, because I had so many friends. I remember their names. I still have one friend who might listen to this, George. Um, who I still keep in contact with, and there's only two real friends that I keep in contact with, George and someone else, and that is it. But moving on. So yeah, about 9 when I was 9, moved to France. We moved to the south of France, is where I live now. Sunny south of France. And from there it was kind of hard. I mean, the first time I remember going to school, because I didn't speak shit in French. I didn't know anything. I knew a few words from French I did in England, but that was it. And I remember going to France. And it was kind of lonely a lot of the time. I used to read a lot. I used to go. We had like a hammock outside, and it's fucking so hot over here. So I used to have this hammock and outside, and I used to read like weekends and stuff. I would read a lot, and I had the PS2 as well, I think. But I just remember reading a lot of reading. I used to finish books really quickly, and I didn't really have that many friends. I don't know if it was the first year. It was the first school year, but I think I came like in the second or third trimester, so it wasn't great from my school work and all that. So I had to repeat a year because of that. Because the teacher, he was young and he didn't really give a shit about me. All I did all day was draw, and I didn't do much. When I didn't have any friends, I mean, like I'd sit down outside and somebody would come up to me, laugh at me or something. I didn't know what they were saying, and they'd try to talk to me, and somebody would make fun of me because I'm English. They'd just be like, "Well, I'm not English. I'm technically, I'm Irish, but I mean, like, because I speak English, all the French people think, I'm English. I'm fucking not English, dude. Shut up. There's a big difference. If I say, yeah, I speak English, and they'll be like, oh, you're English, okay. No, I'm not. I'm Irish. Same thing. It's not the same fucking thing, man. England and Ireland were in fucking, a lot of conflict in their past. It's very two different countries. So those guys, kind of need to study on that subject. But so yeah, it was pretty lonely. I mean, I didn't have any friends. You just get made fun of and shit. And it wasn't that fun. I used to read a lot. Was so lonely. I played some video games, watched TV, and that was about it. I had a private teacher I barely ever saw, and then I got and then it moved on when I repeated the year, and that's when things kind of got better, cause I actually made some friends. I could communicate a bit. I remember using some sort of sign language, like I wanted to know what, cause I was like young. I was like 10 or 11, not 10, I'd say. And I was young. We were playing some stupid game outside, shooting at each other with fake guns and stuff like that. You know how it is when you're little. And I wanted to know what the word die was in French, and I made like a cutthroat motion, and like to ask my friend what that was in French. So I mean, I'd use some sign language to try to communicate with the others, and that's how it went on. It was pretty lonely. I mean, it got better. I spoke a bit better, and it was kind of hard. I mean, I'm better from the whole experience now that I actually speak both languages. Maybe if I'd stayed in England, I don't know how things would be different. I don't know. I'd probably be a different person if I had stayed back where I lived, in England. But then I moved away from that, where I was in France, to another village where I am now. Which at that point, I mean, I was kind of going through a gangster stage. What I mean by gangster is, listening to rap and being a bit, I don't know, gangsterish. I don't know if you guys understand or not. I was kind of, like a delinquent. I don't know, like, I was kind of into rap, and I was kind of impressionable. And I had, like, a friend who was, like, I don't know what to say other than, like, gangster. Like, he listened to rap, and he was very good in school and all that. And but I don't really. He just. I mean, I don't even know what to say. That school was all right, but when I first got to that new school, I didn't know anyone. First of all, actually, I did have one English friend, and I kind of drifted away from him after I left that school. But after I moved on to middle school, because I was still in. Well, I moved on to secondary school, I think. Yeah. But yeah. So I mean, it was. I mean, I remember some really hard days where, like, I'd go in and um I just didn't understand something. I didn't know what it meant. I didn't know what these words were. Like, there's an exercise, something, and it was like, I don't know what this means. Can somebody translate? I could speak a little kind of okay bit of French, but at that point it wasn't developed enough, as so I could understand this exercise. And I would stay in at break time, and I'd be in front of this thing, and teacher wouldn't let me leave. Why don't you understand this? Everyone else can do this. Why can't you do it? And I just remember crying, like, I don't understand. And it was, like, not very pleasant for me. And so, in all the first few years, first 2 years were kind of rough. I mean, socially, I didn't really have any friends. It was kind of shitty, to be honest. but I mean, I've moved on now. Obviously now I'm 100% okay with everything now. I speak fluently. I just did, I've gone through school. I've gone through like secondary school. I'm moving on now. Um, so I think overall it was an enriching experience. More culturally developed. Than I'm still very much attached to the English language and Irish roots. I go to Ireland every year mostly, and I mean I don't really. That's why my accent is kind of weird because I had an English accent, and then I moved here, and my accent got fucked up, and I don't know. Sometimes I can sound Irish. A lot of the time, I just sound American, and I never sound French though. I have a younger brother who lives who was basically he was born in England, but he basically from like 2 or 3 years old. I'm not sure exactly, but he was like really really young when he moved here. With when we moved, so that means he was his accent he sounds more French. I think overall it's a good thing, because I speak two languages, and um, it's nice down here, and I'm actually not entirely sure why we moved here. It might have been work wise. I don't think so though. I just think it's the weather, and I don't know. I'm not sure, but I enjoy living where I am, and I can still connect with people from all over the world, with the internet, and I'm pretty happy with the situation I'm in now. Kind of feel lucky in some ways. This is kind of a long and deep commentary. I don't know if I'm finished yet. I mean, I think I've wrapped everything up. Yeah. So that whole experience was pretty cray cray at first, and it got better. I mean, if anyone else out there is been thrown into a foreign country, had to live somewhere where they didn't speak the language at all, and just thrown into the academic system, and just had to learn, and it's not even just someone who's been put in a new school it's hard to make friends. Well, it depends. It's not really hard to make friends. It's kind of awkward at first. It can be hard. But even just someone who's been put in a new school, obviously it's a lot fucking harder if you don't even speak their language and the culture is different. But yeah. So I wanted to make a sort of a deep, kind of a deep personal commentary, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Yeah, so that's a huge chunk of my life. It's kind of why my accent is this way, and it's sort of a part of who I am. I don't think I'd be like this if I'd stayed back in England, and I think I'm more well off, now than if I had stayed back there. I think, kind feel kind of lucky, but yeah. I'm happy. I'm happy with my situation, and I'm certainly happy to have you guys. Thanks for watching this. It's you guys rock. I have to say it every video. You guys are everything.